Today we're comparing the new Nothing Headphone 1 versus the Bose QuietComfort Ultra Headphones. Now this is an interesting matchup because we've got a $300 newcomer going head to head with the $430 established heavyweight. Nothing is making their first serious play in the over-ear space with some genuinely unique features, while Bose is doing what Bose does best, refined noise cancelling with premium wireless tech. So let's see if the upstart can take down the champ. The Nothing Headphone 1 is unlike anything I've seen in this category. It's got these big square aluminum slabs topped with translucent plastic that lets you see inside to all these kind of cool, random, techie, gadgety parts and pieces, none of which are actually internal working components. They're just kind of random gadget junk that looks cool. Now, whether you think this style looks cool or not is probably going to depend on your taste. But what I can say for sure is that walking down the street wearing these things gets you more questions and stares than any other headphones that I've tested. You might have people coming up to you, bugging you, like, what the heck are those? What are you wearing on your heads? These definitely stand out. Love it or hate it, Nothing definitely made something that stands out in a crowd. The Bose QuietComfort Ultra, on the other hand, are much more understated. They have a soft matte finish, clean lines, nothing flashy, classic Bose design language. At 250 grams too, these are noticeably lighter to wear than Nothing's heavier 330 grams, so that can make a difference if you are wearing these headphones for long hours on end. But really, both headphones nail comfort. The Nothing has deeper ear cups with memory foam that creates an excellent seal, while the Bose uses angled drivers and softer padding that's particularly glasses friendly. Both work well for long sessions, but I think Bose edges ahead slightly just because of that weight difference. One practical consideration though is that the Nothing headphones can't fold up. They can only rotate to lay flat. While Bose, on the other hand, gives you that traditional folding design that makes travel a lot easier. As you can see from the soft shell cases, the Nothing case is going to take up significantly more room and space inside your bag. The Bose case, I think, is also a little bit better designed. Not only is it less bulky, it offers a bit better protection, and the zipper is just really quick and easy to use. With the Nothing zipper, if you don't have a good grip on it, it can easily, get stuck as you're trying to, rip it around the case there. But when it comes to controls, this is where the Nothing headphones really shine. That tactical roller on the back of the right ear cup for volume is super satisfying and reliable in a way that touch controls frankly just aren't. The back paddle for track skipping also feels very intuitive, and there's actual audio feedback when you use either of these buttons. Bose sticks to its traditional multi-function button, plus a capacitive volume strip along the bottom of the right ear cup, which works fine once you get the hang of it, but it is more prone to misfires or accidental touches. So the winner here is really going to depend on your priorities. If you want something that turns heads and don't mind the added bulk, I would pick Nothing, but if you prefer a more refined, travel-friendly design, I think Bose takes the lead. Connectivity. So both headphones use Bluetooth 5.3, and that's where the similarities end. For wireless audio, Nothing supports SBC, AAC, and LDAC, which means high-resolution wireless audio up to 24 bits at 96 kHz if you are on an Android phone. Bose counters that with something even more impressive though, aptX lossless and Snapdragon sound support. That's essentially CD quality wireless audio, but again, only if you have a newer Android phone with a Snapdragon processor. iPhone users, sorry, but you're left out completely. Sucks for you, go get a real phone. Sorry, not sorry. Where Nothing absolutely destroys Bose though is in wired connectivity, because the Nothing Headphone 1 includes both USB-C audio and a standard 3.5mm jack, with both cables included in the box. That USB-C connection is huge and is going to be a big deal come the near future for modern devices. If you don't know, USB-C bypasses your phone's DAC and delivers digital audio directly to the headphones for a lossless listening experience. Bose, you only get a 2.5mm to a 3.5mm analog cable, no USB audio whatsoever. And for $430, a flagship in 2025, that's honestly a little bit disappointing. The analog connection does work fine enough, but you are missing out on those digital audio benefits. So this one's kind of a split decision. If you have a compatible Android phone and you want the absolute best wireless audio quality, Bose's aptX lossless is the future. But for everyone else, especially if you want versatile wired options, Nothing's USB-C audio is going to be much more practical for the coming years. Features is where these headphones really start to show their different design philosophies. For starters, Nothing packed these with an IP52 water and dust resistance rating, which frankly is virtually unheard of in this category. That means you can actually wear these headphones to the gym, or if you get caught in some light rain outside, you don't have to worry. The Nothing X app also delivers an advanced 8-band parametric EQ, which you can adjust both frequency and Q factor within, and that's something we frankly rarely see in a headphone app. Bose, of course, takes a different approach, again focusing more on refinement rather than packing in an abundance of features. There's no water resistance at all, but they do come with a custom tune technology that plays a chime when you first put the headphones on, and then it calibrates them according to your ear anatomy. It's something subtle but effective and, easy to use. Just pop it on and there you go. Your headphones are tuned exactly to your ears. The Nothing headphones, on the other hand, don't have any kind of custom tuning whatsoever, and I think they really could have benefited from that. The Bose headphones also have a much simpler 3-band EQ that frankly is just nowhere near as powerful as Nothing's offerings, and is not really all that useful to trying to tune the headphones all that differently. Both headphones also have spatial audio with head tracking. That may be your thing for music, but personally I found the feature better suited for things like movies or gaming. Now, Nothing phone users will also get some exclusive perks, such as essential space for voice notes. They even have a feature that can just switch between audio apps at the press of a button. That sounds cool, but you have to have a Nothing Phone 3 you have to be able to use that. So it leaves everyone else in the dust. So overall, I think Nothing takes the lead in terms of features and customization. And when it comes to battery life, this isn't even close. The Nothing Headphone 1 lasted 42 hours and 53 minutes in our standardized test with ANC enabled. Without ANC, Nothing claims you can get up to 80 hours, which is, that's just a lot. Bose headphones managed to last 27 hours and 37 minutes with ANC on, which, is okay. That's more than a full day of listening. It's just nowhere near as long as you're going to get out of the Nothing headphones. Fast charging also favors Nothing, with 5 minutes getting you up to 5 hours of playback without ANC, whereas the Bose headphones only give you 2.5 hours for a 15-minute charge. So that's less playback time for more charging time. Now, the difference between the battery life here isn't just a matter of convenience. It also affects your headphone's battery longevity, because the more charge cycles you put a battery through, the faster it's going to degrade. Nothing's longer life means fewer charge cycles over time, which could translate into the headphones that you buy lasting for more years to come before the battery starts to become a problem, and then you're thinking about what other new pair of headphones you need to upgrade to. So overall, with all that in mind, Nothing takes this round easily. So both headphones handle calls pretty well, but they have different strengths. In my usage, I found the Nothing headphones to do an excellent job with steady background noise. Things like traffic, air conditioning, computer fans, they all get filtered out by the microphones very effectively. However, it does struggle a bit with echo and reverb in rooms that have hard surfaces. Bose's microphone system is a little more consistent across different environments. They didn't have that problem in rooms with a lot of reflections, and even in challenging acoustic spaces, they managed to keep your voice very clear and present. The processing is a little more conservative, but more reliable. For most users, both headphones are going to be fine for things like calls or video conferences, although Bose edges ahead slightly for its reliability across different spaces and environments. But Nothing is perfectly capable in most scenarios. If you want to listen for yourself, we have a variety of sample recordings in various different simulated environments, which you can see on SoundGuys.com. ANC. Okay, now we all know Bose has spent decades, perfecting or maybe trying to perfect active noise cancellation, so maybe you'd expect these to dominate this category. But in our lab testing, they don't. Because guess what? Both the Nothing Headphone 1 and the Bose QuietComfort Ultra actually reduced the loudness of outside noise by an average of 85%. They both have equal average noise attenuation. Looking at the specifics of our chart, we can see that Bose does slightly better with low frequency rumble, things like engines, air conditioners, that sort of thing. Nothing holds steadier performance in the mids and the highs, however, making it a bit better for quieting things like conversations or office chatter. But really, both headphones have excellent passive isolation thanks to their ear pad designs. I will say though that Nothing's memory foam ear cushions combined with the stronger clamping force do create a particularly tight seal that might be uncomfortable for some people, but it does make for stronger passive isolation. Using these headphones out in the real world though, both are going to be able to effectively handle things like subway noise or a busy cafe with ease. Transparency modes are also both very good. I did slightly prefer Nothing's implementation of this feature though, because my voice sounded a little bit more natural and less processed, but both headphones let you hear your surroundings clearly, without having to remove your headphones. So this is basically a tie with both headphones achieving an average attenuation of 85%, and that's quite impressive for Nothing's first attempt at over-ear ANC headphones, compared to Bose, who's been doing this for, how many years? So when it comes to sound quality, I think subjective preference is going to be a big deciding factor for most people here, but our measurements do reveal some key findings that may interest you. The Bose QuietComfort Ultra headphones follow our preference curve pretty closely. They have very strong overemphasized bass presence, pretty balanced mids, and I would say an appropriate treble emphasis. Most people will be happy with how these sound right away, as indicated by the overall MDAX results of a 4.8 out of 5. The Bose headphones are my daily drivers for commuting to work because they're definitely, I would say, more energetic and punchy with a strong sub-bass emphasis for those who really want to feel that low-end rumble, especially if you're running or working out. We have noticed that MDAX has a bit of a bias for bass emphasis since, that is what it seems the average untrained listener seems to prefer nowadays. On the other hand, the Nothing Headphone 1 has what I would call a dark sound signature by default, strong bass, weak mids, and very weak treble. Vocals can sound too quiet, and cymbals and guitars can lose that brilliance that you might be expecting from your music. Now, it's not that the Nothing headphones sound bad per se. I mean, they did get an overall 4.1 out of 5 in our MDAX results. It's just that I think the sound needs a little bit of work, and thankfully, with some adjustment using Nothing's 8-band parametric EQ, I was able to bring out the clarity and balance in these headphones so that, in terms of sound quality, they do compete pretty directly with Bose. But that requires some effort and knowledge that not everyone might want to invest. Or, you can just scan our QR code. This gets about as close as we could to our house curve. Just scan the code, and it'll fix the tuning. It's fine. You're welcome. So if you want great sound out of the box and are okay with an overemphasized bass response, Bose wins sound quality easily. But if you're willing to tinker with EQ settings and you want that more advanced level of control, which Bose doesn't give you, I would say the Nothing headphones do compete on sound quality once they are properly tuned. So in terms of which one should you buy, ultimately this comparison comes down to what kind of user you are and what you value most. The Nothing Headphone 1 at $300 is genuinely impressive for a first attempt at over-ear headphones. That IP52 water resistance is pretty unique in this category, the battery life is exceptional, and the app customization is genuinely advanced. The design will turn heads, and that does cut both ways whether or not this is the kind of style you want to wear every day. On the other hand, the Bose QuietComfort Ultra, at a more expensive $430 price tag, I would say is still the safer choice. You get better sound out of the box, it's lighter weight, it's a more polished user experience, and you get those future-proof wireless features like aptX lossless. But you're paying a premium price for that refinement, and the lack of water resistance and USB audio feels dated and is going to feel even more dated in the coming years. Personally, if you're someone who likes to tinker and customize, and who appreciates unique design, and especially if you're active enough to benefit from that water resistance, the Nothing Headphone 1 offers excellent value. You're basically getting flagship features at a mid-tier price. But if you want headphones that just work out of the box, if you're all about that bass and you prioritize comfort and refinement over all those fancy features, and especially if you have a compatible Android phone that can support aptX lossless and has a Snapdragon processor, the Bose QuietComfort Ultra, I think, justifies the higher price. At the end of the day, the real winner here is competition. Nothing's aggressive pricing and feature set is going to push everyone to step up their game, and really that benefits all of us. But I'm curious, which one of these headphones are you thinking about picking up? Let me know in the comments, and if you want to see how these compare to other flagships like the Sony WH-1000 XM6, you can click right over here for that comparison.